to start off with scale. For me, and you may disagree with me on this, but this is one of those that I feel is an easy area to grab points when it comes to the contest. Scale refers to the size of the arrangement in relation to where it's actually going to be utilized or set. Another way of saying it is the relationship between the size of the arrangement and its surroundings. For example, if you are asked to create a design that goes on a teacher's desk, then it shouldn't be anything large or intrusive. If you're asked to create a podium arrangement that goes in the First Baptist Church, which is a huge, huge church, then something that is smaller will not work. It needs to be on a grander scale. So when we're evaluating a arrangement, we look, is it to scale for what the request is for, or the objective, in other words. And we also look, is it to scale with everything within the arrangement, like the container and so forth and so on. So we're going to start off on scale with the objective today was that you were asked to create an arrangement for a large, massive, heavy dining room table that sits 10 people. And so we're going to start off with an arrangement here. And I don't know that I can get all of them up here at one time, but we will start off with one such as this. It's probably 24 inches long, maybe stretching to 26, 28 inches, maybe if you went at a diagonal with the sword fern. It's more of a low compact arrangement. Definitely a centerpiece, and it's low so you can see across it. And then, then we have a bubble bowl arrangement that we have for centerpiece. Let's start off definitely with this one. This one would not be up to scale for the table that we have been requested to design for. This is a bubble bowl, a small arrangement. This would look dwarfed on that table. So in relation to scale, when we're talking about how this would score, it's probably going to be on the below average. And on scale, that would fall into probably on the national scorecard, probably be a 1, maybe a 2, a 1 to 2. But this is definitely not to scale. This would not work. And can you see where I'm saying this is an easy place to get points? Because if you're told this table is large, we should know in our head that this would not work. Okay? So this would be on the low end. Now this one is a little bit larger and a little more appropriate oblong for a table, but yet it's still not quite big enough, because 24 inches on a 10 or 12 foot table or longer just would not be appropriate. So this would fall under. I would probably bracket up just a little bit more than that, because that is just really, you see that and you're like, no, really? So this one would probably be around average to below average on that. But what would be more to scale would be this. You follow me? You see what I'm referring to now? This is long. It's a good, probably 30, I'd say close to 38 inches long. It has a little bit of height. It's got some volume and mass. And we're talking about a big, heavy table. So this would be more appropriate to scale. This would be on the upper end, probably a 4 on the scale. So it would definitely be above average. And I know you're probably thinking, we would never get to design that. Don't say never. You never know what's going to show up. But you can see there's mass flowers here. This is a big, chunky table. So we've used big hydrangeas, which carry a lot of mass and volume. So the components within the design in relation to what we're doing is also to scale, okay? When we're talking about scale, I'm not necessarily, we're talking about the length and size, of course, but we're also talking about, are these flowers to scale to what we're talking about? If you have a big massive table and you use all those spray roses and nothing but spray roses, it's not going to have the impact you're needing. And that flower would not be totally to scale by itself with the table. Proportion would be what proportion does this fill the space as it's intended for, okay? And so typically for me, if I have a table that's 12 feet long, and this is, there again, like I told you this earlier, this is not, I'm not the authority on this. This is my method, okay? If I have a 12-foot table and I'm dividing it into threes, I would like for my arrangement to make up 1/3 of the length of that table. Now, does that mean my flowers have to be all to be 1/3, say 4 feet long? No, it doesn't. You can always extend it with greenery. You can extend it with linear flowers like bells of Ireland or snapdragons, and then graduate your flowers in and sell that negative space. But typically that's a rule of thumb for me. If it's you know, a 12-foot table, I'd like to be pushing close to that 4-foot mark to be proportionate to that table. That is scale. Recapping, it's the relativity between the arrangement, the size of the arrangement, and its surroundings, okay?